Meanwhile, a shocking murder case has emerged from Bengaluru, where from skating ground in Channammanakere, Achukattu police limits, on inspection, it was said that there was a body of a woman that was identified from a garbage truck. The person or the victim has been identified as Asha, a resident of Hulimavu. The accused in this murder has been identified as Shamsuddin, who was arrested by 10 p.m. last night. The police discovered that Asha and Shamsuddin were in a live-in relationship. Asha was a widow and had 2 children. Shamsuddin, on the other hand, is already married and has 2 children who live with his wife in Assam. Now, the two met while working for Urban Company and eventually entered into a live-in relationship. They rented a house in Hulimavu where they lived together. However, their relationship was far from peaceful. Frequent arguments reported took place between the two. On the day of the incident, an intense quarrel escalated, and in a fit of rage, Shamsuddin strangled Asha to death. Now, after committing the murder, the accused transported Asha's body on a bike and disposed it at a garbage truck to cover up the crime. The body was discovered the next morning by a local resident who noticed strands of hair while disposing of trash and immediately alerted the police. My colleague Vajiola, in fact, joins us with more details. Vajiola, shocking murder coming to light. It was a live-in relationship that went wrong. The police have apprehended the accused, but the details of this murder is quite gory. She was stabbed multiple times and the body was, in fact, broken so that she can fit it inside a box, and then the body was, in fact, dumped into a garbage truck. This details of the murder, in fact, is quite gory.
Yes, Varghese, absolutely. The details that we've got so far from the preliminary investigation of the police clearly indicates that it was a heavy altercation between the two of them which led to the death. We just heard the DCP Lokesh also speak, and he's categorically mentioned how the two of them have been living in the Hulimavu area for the last 1 year. They were living together for the last 6 months. For the neighbors, it all looked like they were husband and wife, but there were two different people. One, the lady used to work as a housekeeping at the mall nearby, and Shamsuddin, the accused in this entire case, was also a watchman at that particular mall. They were in a live-in relationship. The woman was married and her husband had passed away, had 2 children, while Shamsuddin had a wife and 2 kids in Assam and was living with Asha over here. And the previous night of the murder is when there was an altercation between the two of them, which turned physical. There was a lot of physical abuse also that the police have felt, and that led to suffocation. And after that, Shamsuddin tried everything to hide the body and tried to dump it in the dumpster in a garbage pile, and it was there where it was discovered at around 1:45 when some of the locals saw strands of hair coming out of the cover, and they informed the police at 2 o'clock. The police reached the spot and cordoned off the entire place. The entire CCTV cameras nearby were looked into, and it is through those CCTV cameras that they were able to piece everything together and finally get to the accused Shamsuddin. At around 10 o'clock, he was arrested by the police, and right now he's in the custody. The investigation is going on with the accused now in custody. The police might present him in court. A medical will be done, and the procedure of the investigation will continue. But from the preliminary, this is the gory details that we've got for our viewers, Varghese.
Well, Vajil, also some details that have been emerging about how he carried out with this murder, what could be the motive behind this entire thing. That on one side, there are people who are saying that there were fights between them. On the other side, the landowner claimed that there were no fights between them. How is the police, in fact, working on the motive of the crime?
Well, all that thing will be a part of the investigation from now on. The police will try to piece every information. They will interrogate every other person who has an idea about both these individuals. Shamsuddin will be investigating on finding out what is the modus operandi, what led him to do this gory act. what was their relationship like. People in their offices will be questioned with regards to what was the relationship between the two of them, whether Asha knew about Shamsuddin's wife in Assam or not, whether they had a clue about it. All these things will now be a part of the investigation, and all the details of the neighbors and what happened that particular night, who all were the eyewitness, whether there was any eyewitness, did he use any help, where did he buy these equipments from, where was the knife bought from, where was all these things will become a part of the investigation, and it is only through that the police will be able to piece everything together and come to a concrete conclusion. As of now, it is on the preliminary basis that the police is able to say that Shamsuddin is the accused, but it will now be incumbent on the
Have
police to piece all these things together.
we have the
come up
picture
with
of the
a
accused
hard
as well.
story
We have
and
Shamsuddin's picture that has been made by the police. Shamsuddin is from Assam, and he was already married and had 2 children. And his wife is in fact taking care of those children, and he also entered into a live-in relationship with the deceased Asha, who was also working with him.